It took me so long to release this is because I wanted to figure out exactly how you can save yourself from their tyranny. And actually, let me just show you how I started this whole process in the first place. There is still one way out. So let's analyze the situation. The puppet masters are about to have you right where they want you, under their thumb. You see, once CBDCs are rolled out, you will be at their mercy. They decide how much you spend, where you spend it, and even how much money you have left at the end of the month. And that will make it impossible for you to escape. You will be on a perpetual hamster wheel for the rest of your life, living paycheck to paycheck, because no matter how much you save, their negative interest rates will chew away at your savings, because they don't even view it as your money to begin with in the first place. Forget your property rights, forget your future, forget your liberty. You will be nothing but a slave to the system. And that's just the money. They said to themselves, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. You will eat the bugs because they control the food supply. And if you dare speak up, well then they'll be very upset and your social credit score will go down. Good luck getting a new rental agreement, and if you try to run away, good luck, because the next step in controlling energy supply is banning gas-powered cars. Because once everyone has electric cars, with a flick of a switch, they deem whether you are worthy or not of travel. The clock is seconds away from midnight. DEFCON 1. But that's what happens when power is concentrated in a select few hands. Because power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that is why you need to escape now. And that means you need to claw back the freedom you deserve. And the way to claw back that freedom is by 3 avenues. The first one is financial freedom, and this is obvious. Because once they have complete control over the financial system, they will make it impossible for you to be financially free. Because they want you to be dependent on them. They need you to be dependent on them. Because when you're dependent on them, you are controllable. So that means you need to put every waking moment into earning your financial freedom. The next is time freedom, and this is truly how you get off the hamster wheel. You need to stop trading your time for money. Because if you do, inflation and negative interest rates will eat away at your savings, and you will be stuck in the debt cycle forever. And the next is location freedom, and this is the one that usually people sacrifice the other two for. You may have financial freedom, and you may even have a bit of time freedom, but you are stuck in a city, and that makes you controllable. That makes you a slave. Because when the US or Europe goes to you can't pack up, you can't leave, you don't have autonomy. Because make no mistakes about it, it's about to be war. And if it is war, you need to be able to be mobile. And that brings me to my next point, which is in a world of centralization, you need to decentralize as much as possible. And what does that mean, you may ask? Well, just like when you're investing, you don't put all of your eggs in one basket. You don't just pick one stock. In the same way, you can't just bet on one country. Because if your country goes to shit, what are you gonna do? So you need to plan. And this is where multiple passports and multiple residencies come into the picture. And once you're financially free, this becomes a lot easier. In places like St. Kitts, you can earn citizenship through investment for as low as 150K. And you need to start tracing your lineage so that way you can see if you are eligible for any other citizenships. Look into things like digital nomad visas. Start looking in different countries, and this also applies for bank accounts. You need more bank accounts. You need them in more countries, because if one country starts to restrict withdrawals, well then you're stuck. If one country starts tracking your carbon footprint and charges you for it, which by the way is already happening, I wrote about this a few weeks ago, but MasterCard has already implemented technology that is required to know your exact carbon footprint depending on your spending. And the next step, well, if you spend in non-climate friendly places, well, you'll be penalized. And what's worse is they're giving the technology to every major payment processor. And that's why you need more bank accounts. You need bank accounts in different countries. And it amazes me that more people don't do this. In the same way you treat your investments, you need to treat your cash. And realize that the only way you can complete these steps is if you have these 3 types of freedom that I've already told you about. And you have maybe 2-3 years before it's too late. But what I will say is that it feels like more people are starting to wake up. So if you want to reclaim the freedom that you were born deserving, you must act now. So instead of submitting to their globalist dystopia of the Great Reset, instead Together, let's make this the great escape.